Okay, we are back with another week of playing D&D in the world of Mundus. This is a interesting campaign where the players are currently flying in a sky. If you want to know more about how they got here, but check out the VODs or the Big Ripper YouTube channel where you can find all of the videos which are uploaded pretty much right afterwards. If not, I tried my best to have them up by Monday morning. But they are is a very interesting tale as how they got here, and they are very I don't want to say seasoned travelers at this point.
Compared to many people in the world of Mundus, though, we are professional travelers now.
Well, you
Who
also
else
have
has
no
flown a castle?
You have no idea, other than cloud giants.
Exactly.
So, does anybody wish to? Oh, real quick before we go too far into this, as of right now, we do not have a blind. So they do not have their barbarian, their Cardin with them. He is currently feeling under the weather. Hopefully, he feels better, and he knows that if he does feel better, he is welcome to join us at basically any point in time. With that being said, though, Rona, who currently lives in Texas, is also subject to power outages. Possibly.
I'm also under the weather.
Just a different sense.
Yeah.
So
if I disappear at random, I'm sorry. I'll try to be back as soon as the power decides to come back. But it hasn't gone off since a couple nights ago. Okay, I know some people don't have power at all, but mine's pretty consistent right now. Thankfully, I live within city limits, so that helps.
Oh, I bet. Do you got your phone charged?
Oh yeah, I got it plugged into the wall. But like I said, it's when the power goes out, I don't get cell service because the cell towers also go out. So I won't have mobile data. If I disconnect, I'm gone.
Well, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
That won't stop Discord though. Discord loves to kick me off.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I wonder, are we? I'm actually really curious now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe you can tell me, Romulus, is our channel set in what area is our channel set in? Is it set in Eastern Standard, or is it set in Central?
Are you talking about Twitch, or are you talking about the tavern?
Discord. Yeah, the tavern.
Oh, should be. Don't think there's a time set on it. Don't think.
I thought it was dependent upon the user.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, really? Because
mine specifies that when I responded to Rom's message, it was 7:51 my time.
Yeah, and it says here 8:51 for me.
Yeah, see?
Right. I mean, I understand that, but when you're in a voice chat, I thought it was something different.
I have
look
no
into
idea.
For later, I think. Because I feel like I've done that before.
Not for this channel.
Not for this, but in a different thing. I feel like I've changed the location.
That could be a different.
I just don't remember.
That could be a different program.
Potentially.
Or that could have been a previous iteration of Discord.
Oh, that's true. They have been doing a lot of updates lately.
But as long as I've been doing voice chats with you guys, it has not done that.
Okay. My whole thought process was if we changed to Central, I wonder if it would still kick Rona off as often.
Probably. It's Discord. It likes to cause chaos.
Oh, so it's Katya. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if he...
Wait, but that is moody too.
Who's letting Katya run a communications app?
I'm not running any communications, but I am kind of the go-between when we got, internal disputes here on the Flying Fortress. So I nominated myself to take that position because I figure of all of us here, I probably had the most charisma.
Valinor is not fighting that. Pretty sure he has the lowest charisma.
I do not know.
I mean, I'm not intimidating, so it makes me good for counseling, listening to arguments, sorting things out. Unlike Cardin.
Well,
last time I saw him try to sort out an argument, somebody ended up dead.
No, that's not fair. He doesn't get to. Oh, would you look at that? We actually are in Central.
Really?
Hmm?
Yeah, we're
Maybe
in
that's
US
why.
Central. Sorry, I found it. While you guys were talking, I found it.
See, I told you it hates me.
You're on your own. So that pretty much sums it up for the announcements. I have nothing else to really talk about. I know, excuse me. I know briefly about what Cardin will have been doing. Because if you guys remember, and I don't know if you do or not, because literally one person messaged me that you guys have a lot of downtime for this episode.
That was me.
Yeah, and it was the same night. So, would anybody like to attempt the recap for this week, though?
Well, we fought a motherfucker.
That
Who
you did.
trapped us in a big stone block. Well, his friends did, so that he could fight us.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
Ooh, it was rough.
I know my Minotaur and Zombie were beaten against a wall, literally. So they broke out.
I'm gonna bring that guy that you guys fought over onto the stream side because I can do that.
Oh no!
This is what.
What is this monster?
This is what.
God.
What the party fought.
50.
I labeled him the
Wow.
Champion of the Dawn because I felt like it would be an accurate title for somebody who threw sun bolts out of his fist. Yeah, he was a very high level monk with a splash of barbarian.
Excuse me,
yeah.
I want to point this out. Level 15.
And we killed him.
And you guys killed him. And you guys took on 2 book-statted assassins, which, again, you killed them. Why did I throw a level 15 character at you guys? Because you guys killed him.
Level 20 is next.
So,
no,
someone say Ancient Dragon?
You laugh, but...
Oh god, what have you done?
Yes.
He created a level 30 in boss for us when we finally get there.
I have plans for every one of you.
Great.
But yeah, that was the main thing. But that was basically what they fought. I used D&D Beyond to create it. Great tool, by the way. If you guys don't know what D&D Beyond is, definitely go check it out. They do not sponsor us in any way, shape, or form. So,
unfortunately,
yeah. Well, we poor boys in a hood. Anyway. Does anybody want to try the recap other than saying you killed some people?
Yeah, we really should preface it with we were being hunted by assassins who somehow got aboard the Flying Fortress before we left.
I'm pretty sure Katya somehow magically summoned them to kill us. Try and kill us.
I had nothing to do with it.
I will say everybody roll an intelligence check. We'll just skip the intro, I guess. D-Knock, you have advantage.
14.
Intelligence.
But as they're rolling that, the whole thing that they really had was
Xenos
they
wins.
literally the crew literally began to like search the entire fortress floor by floor. Didn't really find a whole lot, and then went to bed. At which point, a little bit of shenanigans happened, and so the bad guys were waiting for them inside their own home, and then they trapped them in a stone wall.
Katya was all like, "Hey, I'm tired of looking for these guys. It sure would be very convenient if they showed up." And Rip's like, roll a persuasion check for the DM. Nat 20. All right, so the assassins are here.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it went.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we almost died.
I like doing little fun moments, but not always. Oh wait, I need to roll for dipstick.
Watch him get like the highest somehow.
I don't know how that would be.
Are you fucking serious?
Well, there's the first nat 20 of the night.
Gosh.
The DM silence.
He's just sitting there with like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
So,
is this because Blind's not rolling?
Yeah, 100%.
It's because the DM is rolling. When the DM rolls, it's always nat 20s.
As far as you're aware.
Well, when he's rolling for us, it's.
So, Valinar, D-Knock, and somehow Cardin.
How that works, we don't know.
Yeah. Or whatever. Actually, we'll make this kind of make sense a little bit here in a second. D-Knock, you kind of think on it for a minute, and as you guys have had a moment to kind of settle down and things aren't as dire. And you remember after taking a minute and looking over these people's faces, you remember seeing them.
Oh, really?
All three of them, as you guys kind of remove their masks. D-Knock, your brain flashes back to when you guys boarded the fortress and you guys kind of took tally of everybody.
Oh,
You remember seeing their faces. They didn't enter as a group. They kind of entered separately, almost not with, but almost following families. They, if you recall, with your 21 intelligence check, you recall that they signed on as just extra help. Basically, they were people who were looking for a fresh start.
yeah.
That was basically what their reasoning was for climbing on board. Valinar, you remember seeing them. You remember seeing them at different intervals around the. Ooh, that's a really ominous sound. See if I can find something slightly different. Let's go with this.
Seeing them poison their knives and just not saying anything for whatever reason.
Well, no, you saw them around like the canteen area. Yeah. A couple of times you saw them talking. I think there was probably one time that you even talked with them. Not about nothing really. It was just more of a, hey, why are you, what are you guys here for? What is your guys' goals? And it was always like, just looking for a fresh start. And as per the nature of a lot of people who are looking for a fresh start, they don't want to go into too much details about why they're looking for a fresh start, which is understandable, as you yourself have looked for a fresh start on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Cardin, on the other hand, he remembers one of them. You found one of them as a almost volunteer blacksmith apprentice. The one of the assassins was working with the blacksmith in like free time, crafting. Oh God, what are they called?
Kunai?
I was gonna say. I guess they're just iron shafts that would be fired from the ballistae on the roof of your guys' fortress.
Bolts.
Are they called
yes.
bolts? Those things are like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're ballista
Okay.
bolts.
Fair enough. Bolts. Crafting some of those, and just working in that regard. So you guys have seen them around. Unfortunately, John, Katya, you guys are like, I don't know who these guys are.
We were elsewhere, doing other things.
Exactly.
Wink.
Oh.
Get rid of that wink.
Unwink.
Thank you.
I will allow it. Everybody gets one.
Unwink.
Everyone gets one unwink?
Mulligan. Everybody gets one mulligan.
Okay.
Oh, well, I wasted it then. You should warn me before I go using it.
I mean, do I really need to warn you about the dangers of not undoing a wink with John in present company?
Yes.
Your funeral.
And in this case, almost literally.
Almost.
You guys are badly beaten, bloodied, hurting. Even your
Think my leg is
barbarian
broken?
even your barbarian is fairly hurt. I have no idea because he reset his character sheet, but
Yep.
I was a 4 HP.
3.
3? Was it 3? It was one of those two.
No, I'm at 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm
think
at 7.
Yeah, I was like, I think everybody was sub 10, except for maybe Valinor.
I think I was at like 12. That's only because I'm a healer.
Yeah, so... but you guys have successfully stopped these assassins from taking your guys' life. And you guys have recognized them as people who were traveling with you. But what would you guys like to do now in this moment after the fight, as you guys are currently pulling the bodies, and probably, I'm assuming, lining them up with one another?
I ain't pulling nothing.
Assume I'm basically out of spell slots. Because I reset my spell slot.
Yeah, likewise. I reset everything because we were told we were leveling up, and
Yep.
so I was like, oh, okay.
And that's fine. I didn't know if you guys wanted. You
Yeah.
guys did get the level up, but that is actually kind of technically coming at the end of downtime. But I didn't know if there was anything that you guys wanted to do immediately after this fight, this showdown. If there's something you want to do, we can skip ahead and do the downtime stuff.
I want to do my usual thing.
Go for it.
I was
What's
All
that?
right.
I was gonna say I was kind of wanting to figure out who they were working for.
Well, I mean, I can
Oh,
deskin.
I
I can deflesh the skull of the leader first, so that you can talk to him.
You guys might be able to look around on their bodies too and see if you can find anything.
Yeah, let's do that before.
Yeah, y'all.
All right.
I'm I'm gonna go take a nap.
Roll investigation. Those of you who would like to investigate the bodies.
I'll grope the corpse.
Nat 20.
Wow.
I'm gonna roll for Cardin too, because apparently when I roll for him, he rolls good. Never mind.
No, he doesn't. You said it. The world made you a liar.
Perfect. As it should be for Cardin. Cardin rolled a 2. Valinard, 15. And Denock with a natural 20. Okay.
Reverse that.
Reversed.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Valinard with a natural 20. Denock with a 15. My bad. John, do you want to roll as well or no?
Nah, I'm not investigating the bodies.
Okay, and Katya,
You just
you're
want to
going
go
to
to
take a nap?
bed.
Wait, repeat that.
Which one?
Yes.
Whatever you said, Rip.
Oh, I was asking Katya if he was going to bed.
Oh, yes. I know I just got up, but after that, I'm feeling pretty tired.
Yeah.
Dying my sleep. Good night.
It's literally like 2 minutes after you guys have woken up.
I know. Good night. I need more sleep.
Okay, you go and lay down. What was that, John?
I was just gonna say, to be fair, Katya was the last watch, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. So, Cardin finds nothing. Like, literally, he's investigating your giant skeleton at this point in time, Denock, and he's just like, man, this thing don't got nothing on him.
And the skeleton's just gonna look at him, and if a skeleton could, it would look confused.
Right.
I thought they always look confused, actually.
Ooh, that was a good roll. Denock, on the 3 bodies, you find a total of 80 gold pieces. And
80.
of their weaponry, all of it is mundane.
So 2 regular crossbows, some bolts.
Yep, 2 regular crossbows. I would say, actually, this would probably be more for Valinar, since he rolled the natural 20. Yeah, but so 2 regular crossbows and 2 short swords. Those are the blades and weapons that they used. They were mundane weaponry.
How many bolts?
I will say that they would each have a quiver of, we'll say 20 left. So a total of 40 bolts between the 2 of them.
Yay.
Okay. And
I doubt anyone remembers, but I do have a crossbow. I never use it.
that is correct. Valinar, with natural 20, you find the compartment within the assassin's clothing that they had been using for storing their poison vials.
Cool.
And it's actually a very, very interesting design. It's almost like a blood bag that runs down the arm and leaks out around the pointer, the left pointer finger, so that it's a very quick and almost immediate application to whatever they're holding.
Ah, there we go. It's canon now.
Yeah, I figured it would work around. Yep. In total, You find between the two bags, you would assume that there is roughly maybe another 6 uses. So 12 in total. Sorry, about 6 uses per bag. So 12 uses of the poison remaining.
I'm gonna take.
To be that can be applied to pretty much any weapon, but once you apply it, it's good for 1 use only.
I'm taking the poison.
Okay, and
You're a cleric, right?
Yeah. Are you sure you're a cleric?
I am a cleric, guys.
I will get you statistics for that a little bit later.
Okay.
And I need to roll for this. Oh, that's pretty low. These are pretty dumb then. You find hold on, I gotta find it now. Oh, did I not write that down? Okay. It's gonna be in a different notebook. Sorry, give me 1 second. 1 second here, guys. Bear with me while I find my head. You find what is basically a like an embroidered cloth, almost like what fancy women would give to their betrothed or loved ones whenever they're going off for battle and stuff. God, I can't remember what that's called.
A handkerchief?
It's like a handkerchief, but there's a special name for this specific one, and I don't remember what it's called. It's got the embroidered letters of SC.
SC.
That is correct.
Okay.
Anyone know who SC is?
John, you can make a history check with advantage. John is the only one allowed to make this history check.
Thank God.
Thank God for advantage. 18. It's actually just high enough. Okay.
Yay!
You're not sure what the S stands for, but you're almost positive that the C, as it would represent a last name, most likely, represents the Connolly family.
Wait, say that again.
You're not sure what the S would stand for, but the C, representing a last name, you're almost positive stands for the Connolly family.
Can you spell that in the chat for me real quick?
Yeah, I can do that. It's in the Roll20 chat.
Thank you.
Yep, Connolly. And it's spelled that way because I don't want to get in trouble.
In trouble with who?
Anyone who actually has the name Connolly.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
I relay that information to them.
John, you also know that the Connolly family is the prominent family of rogues within the continent of Issus.
Dang. I relay that information as well.
Notably, the handkerchief was not found on the monk individual. It was found on one of the assassins. So, John stated that he relays that information, so you guys are able to do with that what you will.
Well, I guess our next the brain fart. Sorry, guys.
It happens.
I guess the next thing we're gonna do is ask everyone if they're involved with the Connolly family.
Quick question to the DM.
Yeah.
Would Valor know if he could use Speak with Dead and Zone of Truth on the same person? / can I do that?
I mean, are either one of them concentrations?
Neither of them are concentrations, actually.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, they still make a save. They still get to make the wisdom save.
Okay.
And again, they would be subjugated to both spells, but you also know that they can still be relatively crafty with an answer if they so desire.
Okay.
So, and just so that you know, I do believe John stated last episode that he does have Zone of Truth.
Yeah, we had an entire thing about that.
Yeah. Because Valinor was asleep.
That's true. So, just so that you know, that way you don't have to feel like you have to burn both spell slots.
Yeah. I mean, I would have one more third level left, because I remember I was saving one in case anyone died, but...
I mean, if you guys would like, we could also say that you guys basically rest for the day and take a long rest, basically, and you guys do all of this the next morning. Because you guys have a lot of downtime to work with.
Yeah.
So if you would like to do that, we can do that. Then nobody has to worry about
spell slots.
Like spell slots and stuff like that, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and... Huh?
I was just asking the party, who wants to talk to dead people?
Exactly.
I'm asleep.
Nope.
Unless you're asking this afterward. Sweet!
It's been 24 hours now. We're skipping a whole day here.
Okay. So in response to Valinor's question, I mean, it's not like we haven't done it 1,000 times before. I mean, Dinok hangs out with the dead and the undead, and there's a lot of things about dead things. And you've talked to corpses before, so, you know
what?
It surprises me anymore.
For the sake of this, I'm going to say Cardin spent time and destroyed the wall. Because I feel like that's something Cardin would do.
Yeah, though, here's the thing. If we don't do the Speak with Dead first, I need... Because I want to raise these guys. Can he use Speak with Dead on a zombie?
No.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, read the spell description.
That's what I'm looking for.
How's that?
Perfect.
Can't be undead.
Yeah, cannot be undead. But Denoc, you could just hold off on casting your spell that morning, because you do it every morning, right?
I can't, because I have that zombie and my Minotaur. My Minotaur takes one spell slot, the zombie would take another.
Oh, I see. But I guess I'm confused on why. Because you're doing two different castings, one to get your big skeleton or your big boy back, which wouldn't affect the these newly dead creatures. If you held off on this second spell, couldn't you cast it all at one time and animate all of them?
Here's the thing. You see, this is what we talked about a while back. I can't get these guys back under my control if they leave it.
Oh, that's right. They don't just drop dead, do they?
They continue to exist. So if I don't raise...
That is fair.
Because I'm using one on my current guy.
Mm-hmm. We'll say you do this later in the evening of the night of the same day, later in the evening the next day. That way, like Valinar and everybody has a chance to rest and recover a little bit. And I'll just give you guys the spell slots. It's not like you guys couldn't work it out in post anyway. So this is how we'll do it. So everybody can be present for this. So what? All right. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So you can ask. Who are you going to cast the Speak with Dead on?
I was gonna plan on doing it on the guy that seemed like the leader, the monk guy, though. The guy who seemed like he knew things.
Okay, so the leader.
Yeah.
Okay. So you cast Speak with Dead. You can kind of watch as his eyes kind of fill with this almost like this undeath kind of energy, and they kind of flutter open. This cloudy vision speak, and this air fills his lungs. Now, are you going to speak Zone of Truth, or is John going to?
I mean, I would prefer if I did it, since I thought we decided that I'm the only one that can really speak to him anyway.
You're the only one that can speak with him, but anybody can cast the Zone of Truth.
I'm fine with you casting it, Valinor.
Okay, I'll cast it.
Okay. Which is your spell save DC then?
17.
Ooh. Probably guys. You know whether they pass or fail, right?
Yes. I think.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna give him.
You know.
I'm going to give him disadvantage because he's dead, so he can't really use his stuff, if that makes sense. But I have no other stats to base it off of, so I'm going to use his stuff and give him disadvantage.
Okay.
So the first roll was a 25.
Yeah.
The second roll was a 15.
Yes.
I rolled low. Okay. You have 5 questions as he's...
First thing I want to ask is, who hired you?
Real quick, just for a point of reference. Yeah. Are all three of them
Well, I mean-
like in the same room, or are they like are you just got this guy?
I left them all together because I'm going to raise all three of them.
Okay, that's fine. He kind of raises almost kind of a. I mean, at this point, it's so technically a thick finger, and points over at the guys on the ground and goes, "She did."
Oh, great.
Why did they want us dead?
Yep, why did they want us dead?
Not all of you, but some.
What?
Yeah,
Not all-
that.
Sorry.
Not all. But
Yeah, I know.
one.
With my mic being further away. Not all of you, but some. Wanted
Okay.
dead for the Connolly family.
Oh, that confirms that suspicion, John.
Who did they want dead?
The green-skinned one. And the blonde.
Oh.
That's
I guess
John
that
and
makes
I.
sense.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
Remember, 2 more left.
John,
Yeah.
do you think that they might have wanted us both dead because maybe the Connolly family wanted to be with you and they feel I'm in the way?
If that is the case, I would have been fine with them killing me.
Ow, that hurts.
Okay.
I feel like you're damaging my psyche here.
Okay, I have to pull this out. When did John get all of this hate for Katya? Like, just all of a sudden.
When he poisoned his mother.
And him! Both on accident!
Guys,
Fortunately, they're paladins, but still.
we're on a time limit here. Valnar just shouts to them as they're arguing. And then gestures, do you have questions? Holding up 2 fingers.
Well, I guess it doesn't hurt. What other information are we going to get? Why did the Connolly family specifically want me and John dead?
Before asking that, Valnar's going to kind of go, by the sounds of it, they hired him. They don't have to tell him shit. Any
That
other
is true.
questions before I use one? Use a stupid one. Alright. Well, if no one else has any questions, I'll ask that one.
Okay.
The stupid
Why
one?
did
That Katya?
the one Katya was going to ask?
Okay.
What else are we going to do?
And that was why specifically did they want them dead?
Oh, shoot. I remember the other question I was going to ask. Okay. Please have one more.
Okay. Don't know. Didn't
Yep, that's what I
say.
And the last question
Not surprised.
Valnar wants to ask is, who else is working with you?
That's actually a good one.
That's really smart considering you can't lie. Let's see, this guy. Here? No one. But elsewhere? Probably a lot.
Oh, great. Well, that was a
Does
question.
spell
Okay.
aid.
See you
Watch
next
out for
time.
flying rogues.
So, from what you gather from the last question that he answered, there are no more flying rogue assassins among you. But they're potentially, allies of the Connolly family anywhere you go.
Even on other continents?
Probably
You
not.
have no idea.
Not
You can make
overly
what-
likely.
You
Maybe
can
not
make
specifically
what
Connolly.
you can make whatever assumptions you would like, but that's the information you have been given.
Ronald's gonna stand up, look at D-Knock, and just gesture to the skeletons and walk away.
All right.
Dead bodies.
Dunock
I
steps
can't
forward
imagine
like
why
a kid,
anybody
like
would
a
want
kid
me
in the
dead.
candy store.
Level 4. That way I get 4 guys.
Okay. So you are you casting it?
I'm
Once?
re-upping it on that one, the zombie.
Okay, you do have 2 slots now. Okay, I couldn't remember how many 4th level slots you guys have at this level.
Yup, that's the 8th level thing. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so you use both of those, and you now have. Are you specifically trying to summon zombies or skeletons? Because right now they would be zombies unless you debone them.
You mean deflesh?
Or debone. Doesn't matter. Works both ways.
If you debone them, you just have floppy skin men.
If you debone them, you have bones and flesh. They're 2 separate entities.
Yes, but one way actually sounds creepier and more necromantic.
Either way, what do you want?
I want zombies.
Okay. Kablam. Oh, where's my hand? There it is. Kablamo.
Calm your scales, D-Knock.
He's going mad with power.
You're
Sorry, I don't know what's
concerning
wrong
me.
with me.
You're concerning me that you might try to take over the world soon.
I don't know what
Hey, I'll
came
be right
over me
back. I gotta
there.
run downstairs for a quick sec.
That just came out of nowhere.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. So, you guys have asked questions. You guys have done
Things.
a thing. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do today? Otherwise, we're going to time skip and we're going to do a couple RP things.
RP!
Yay.
Alrighty. So, we are actually going to be doing a time skip of almost a entire month as you guys fly through the air. So, as we're doing this, we're gonna start with Katya, as you were basically the one and only that actually messaged me back.
Yay.
What is it you would like to accomplish in your downtime?
Well, I would like to take this time to try and reach out to a patron. Trying to get in contact with the Red Scare, see what happens. How I would like to do it. Katya is not familiar with what it looks like to reach out to a patron, so he's gonna like shut off the torches in his room and light candles instead. Make it look like he's having a seance.
Okay.
Then I'll kind of look to the ceiling and say, well, I don't know if you're listening, but I'm trying to talk to the Red Scare because I need power. I want power, control over my magic, but I can't do it alone. And then you wait.
You wait for a while. There's no immediate response. And as you sit there, eventually you begin to drift. And eventually you fall asleep. Your
Not
dream
surprising.
becomes that of red. Bloodshed and red. Violence and more red. And eventually, you're on a canvas of what seems to be nothing but a sea of red. But it's a field. Like all the grass has been stained red with blood of some kind, and you look up and the sky itself has become almost a blood red color.
This is like the opposite of that popular song, Blue.
And you hear a voice. Power. Power is not something easily given. What
It's
do
something that
you
is-
have to offer me?
The blood of my ancestors. That is something that I can offer. After all, my bloodline stems from you.
What purpose do I have need of my own blood?
I don't know.
Almost feel almost like a tongue, wet, kind of slither across the back of your neck.
I don't know. I figured you like the color red. Perhaps I don't mean it in a literal sense. Like, I'm not gonna cut up my hand and give you blood. I mean, I am your flesh and blood, your lineage. When I offer my blood, I offer myself as a conduit for your power.
There's a moment of silence. And you almost hear the sound of what you can imagine the licking of teeth would sound like. So, you're going to offer a freedom of movement, in a sense, to allow
I guess you could put
me
it.
to work through you.
I suppose, in a sense, you grant me the use of your power, and I enact your will upon the world, whatever that may be. At this point, Katya's kind of having second thoughts, but he'll try to find a way to spin it in his favor later.
At my will, you say. I think that is something we can agree on. Tell me, what is your desire?
Well, it's not to go and slaughter helpless innocents, but we have a horde of devils seeking to lay claim to our world, bring them all down. So there'll be plenty of bloodshed. Lots and lots of it. But it's really, really difficult for me to properly enact said violence if I can't control my magic. You see, every time I use it, the power overflows within me. There's no focus, and I end up farting out some special effects that I don't intend. And it's really embarrassing and sometimes cuts off my ability to enact the violence. But with your power at my disposal, I gain a modicum of control to better direct the violence toward those who would cause harm unnecessarily. If I have my history on you correct, there were many who did not understand you, and they sought to cause harm upon you without good notice, simply because they just didn't understand. And I know that you fought back against this injustice.
I did, once. But now, humanity has turned me away. So I embrace the monster that my father once left. You can almost hear claws grinding on rock behind you.
Yes, humanity has turned you away because they have a tendency to turn their backs on the powerful because they just don't get it. But direct your power through me, and perhaps I can overturn that decision by using it for something good in your name.
I will do you a favor this one time. You contacted by my father. He can control the magic.
And who is your father?
Accept his deal, and you will find the power is within reach. And with that, you feel this almost clawed hand begin to run down like the base of the skull, your skull, down your neck to like right where the shoulders and neck kind of connect.
Oh.
Wake up, little human. And with that, you are back in your room. Sweating. Your candles have burnt out. You are basically in a cold sweat at the moment, though.
Like a nightmare.
Sort of.
Night terror.
And then you hear knock, knock, knock.
Is that part of my dream, or is there actually somebody at my door?
There's something
Katya,
at your door.
you awake? It's lunchtime.
Yes. Lunchtime? Holy crap. Did I really sleep that long? Well, I suppose I was up kind of late. Fair enough.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's really hard on my voice.
I should probably. I should have kept you talking. I should probably go find something to eat then. Yeah, you're right. Self-care and all. After that dream, I think I need more than just a meal, though. Oof.
So, we will come back to you.
I do have a question. Is there a way I can, I guess, insight it to see, was I talking to the Red Scare or some abomination that he created?
Ooh, that's a good question. I will allow an insight check for this.
Because he kept referring to his father, and I'm like, I thought he was the beginning, but okay.
11.
Oof, 11. That's not good.
Hard to read something you can't see.
Exactly. I didn't want to turn around and look at it either.
We'll come back to you. A couple days will pass before we come back to you.
Fair enough.
Valinar.
Yes.
One night, as you are preparing for bed, you feel almost uneasy at one point. Not like something's wrong, but like something's watching you, and you're not sure what it is. You check and double check and triple check, but there's nothing. Still, that feeling doesn't go away. And as you fight sleep that evening, eventually you drift off. And you find yourself standing in what appears to be a room of white. It's bright. And as you kind of blink and shield your eyes, and your eyes begin to focus, you see a man standing before you, with this short-cut blonde hair and this almost just ever so slightly a flake of a beard beginning to grow, it appears, wearing basically a white, almost tunic, and almost tunic-like in nature. At first glance, it almost reminds you of your father.
Hello? Hi.
Hello, Valinar. It's been some time.
Yeah. I guess. Sorry, I'm a little confused right now.
I figured this would be a easier way of speaking with you. A form that is rather familiar with you. One that's not as hurtful.
Okay.
But go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay. There is insight. 25.
I mean, this individual before you isn't really giving a whole lot away. But based off of the way he's holding himself and talking, he's not talking like your father. This person is definitely something much more powerful.
Oh.
Judging from the room around you, you have a real bad or good feeling this might be Geisma.
Okay. Cool. I'm either about to get really good news or I'm in a hell of a lot of trouble.
By the way, through the dimensions you hear, fucking gods!
Kind of looks behind and
You
go, I didn't think I could hear other people. Okay.
He kind of like, worry not, Valinor. You are not in trouble.
Oh, good.
This is a courtesy, if you would. You see, while you are a very valued acolyte, there are others as well that have a very important role to play that are not yet fulfilled, and I am frightful for their early extinguishing of their light. Your preceptor, your Father Nadon, he needs your help, Valinor. I know you guys have your own path and own destiny to follow. His consciousness reaches to you every now and then. I'm sure you've seen it. Or at least those you travel with do.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on those two. They have a touch of death within them that is very corruptible and worrisome, I guess is the best way to put it.
When he says that, he starts thinking of Deanock's crazy laughter. He raised the dead. Okay.
Alma is looking for you as well. But she does not know that you have left the island. So when you go, be mindful. But he kind of like sees you beginning to like, still like even in with your sunglasses on, beginning to see that you're like still squinting at times. And he goes, change of scenery is necessary. He snaps his fingers, and when he does, the room around you shifts and changes. And you're standing in the library that you know to be, a handful of paces away. Well, several hand paces based off of the size of the fortress. Anyway, there's a book within here that has been left for you. And you guys almost move without moving. Like the library just rushes past you. And you find yourself on like the lower third floor, kind of towards the back, and you see what appears to be a tome that appears to be written in stone or made of stone. Find the book, open it. There's something inside for you. It's been left here by mages past. Took me a while to find it myself. When you arrive, you'll understand. Use this power. Make sure that the world is a better place than when you left it. Make sure to extinguish all the darkness that you can with your light. You guys plan to head towards the dragon's home. Know that a great dark looms in the distance over that place.
The dragon's home.
I believe he goes by the name of Deanock.
Oh, okay.
Be careful. But this should give you a little bit of help.
Thank you.
And time passes. You wake up the next morning, and you have the day to...
Valinar, first thing Valinar's going to do, he's going to ignore everyone and just run to the library.
Hey,
go ahead
Ben.
and...
Oh, okay, bye.
Pretty much. Go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage because you were basically shown where it was, and it's not a very high DC. 8. You got it. You had to beat a 5.
Good. Thank God.
You find this stone tablet that he was referring to, and it's this big, thick book. I mean, it's pretty big, and you kind of go and you begin to look it over. It's not a book, but a case. And as you flip it open, you can, or begin to flip it open, you can see that in the middle, the casing itself opens, and you can see as it opens up that the interior of this component of this book is there's a very small space. As this is a large book, it's decent size, but you can tell that going all the way around, that this book is about 3 inches of stone in all directions. And inside, you see an old, slightly tattered, or not tattered, dusty and dirty scroll.
Can I read it?
You pick it up and you read, and you understand the language as it is written in common. It is a spell. It is the spell scroll of sending.
Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna hide that away.
Mm-hmm. I will also say, as part of the gift from Geisma that has been bestowed upon you, you have the understanding that when you read this spell and use the spell scroll for the first time, the scroll becomes one of your divinity spells.
It
will become an additional divinity spell to your current spell list.
So I can just read it and just gain it to...
You would have to cast it, but yes.
And then it would become one of my divinity spells I have prepared.
Yeah, instead, very similar to, I believe, Fireball is one of your divinity spells.
Yeah.
So yeah, very similar to that.
Like that.
Yep.
This is 3rd level too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I have that understanding, is that he's probably just going to use it and try to contact Nadon. Because I think it doesn't have a... Yeah.
No, there isn't any distance or planar really interference, but you have 25 words.
He's not using all that. He's basically going to go, what's going on?
That's it? That's all you say to him?
Are you alive and what's going on? That's what Valinar is going to say to him.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to add this to my spells.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I'm real quick doing math on where he would be and what he would be doing at this current hour.
This never loads. There we go.
Okay. You hear back in this kind of older tone, of a man. Sounds weak. Eleanor, my boy. How? Yes, barely. Uh, uh, Pamela? Pamela? Sure, Pamela. Is as wicked as ever. Edge of death most of the time. Occasionally dies, but they bring us back.
Us? Sorry, I know I'm not talking to him. I'm just kind of.
Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much where it ends. There. I'm pretty sure that's really close to 25 words, and I kind of lost count as I have a little baby in my arms. So.
And I just learned it, so I don't have it prepared. Fantastic.
Well, it's one of your divinity spells, so it's always prepared.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna instantly use a slot to cast it back and go. What do you mean us?
Us, the remaining ones from the temple. Your parents, friends. I can't talk. I gotta go. It kind of cuts out.
Okay, well that's great. Valinar's gonna quickly put the weird book thing back in its place and try to make it look like he never touched it and just attempt to nonchalantly leave the library like nothing happened.
Okay.
As I open the door. Oh, Valinar, what are you doing?
I was just leaving. And he just
Ducks under the arm and.
Okay.
As a side note, does the scroll disappear when it's cast?
Yes, the scroll vanishes.
Okay.
But you do now have the spell learned, and the reason why I have it that way is because technically the only other person that would even remotely be able to quote unquote learn it is like Denoch because of scribing, but technically sending is not a wizard spell, so he wouldn't be able to learn it in the traditional ways. So it is your gift from Geisma.
Okay. Valnar just kind of leaves, completely lost in thought.
Understandable. Denoch, is there anything you wanted to do?
Well, I want to turn 2 of the zombies into skeletons.
Easy enough to do over the course of time.
But I'm just going to be interacting with the wizards of our group, talking about my plans for the library to be a shared storage of our spells.
Ooh, okay. A lot of wizards a lot of the wizards you talk to are very interested in that. The big thing for them, though, is they just don't have the time currently to create spell scrolls. At least not of a magnitude that above like cantrips, because they could do cantrips in their free time. But other things take a long time to create.
But yeah, things like I'm going to make my spell scroll specifically of animate dead.
Oh, you want to make one?
For this library, yes.
Okay. I mean, you can definitely do so. It will take you a bit of time. I'm trying to remember how much time, though.
Time is all we have.
This is true. This is why I'm going to look up how long it takes. So... there... Okay, so you're doing it as a 3rd level?
Yes.
Okay. So it will take approximately 1 work week. So basically 5 days of 8 hours putting towards it. In addition, you also need to find essentially paper and ink worth 500, or well, for you it'd be 250 gold pieces because of your ability to cut prices in half. But I think there's a reserve in the library. I don't remember if I gave you a total for that or not.
Let me look at my notes.
If not, I'll make a new one up.
Loot from Fortress. Here we go. You didn't give that.
I did not give that. Okay.
No, we've got that Cure Wounds 5th level scroll.
The 5th level. Okay. I will say currently. Actually, roll a d4 for me.
Nope.
Ooh, very nice. I will say, in terms of what is in the library, there is a remaining. You can find about 4,000 gold's worth of paper and ink. And I basically am basing this off of the spell scroll cost table in the Xanathar's Guide under downtime. And since there's a 5th level scroll, you can have a d4 of paper and ink remaining in there. So you can either choose to be greedy and take it all for yourself and probably never need paper and ink again, or you can leave it in the library to allow the other wizards who wish to add things to it.
100%. I'm leaving it to them.
Okay, so if you use any of it, just kind of mark down what you use of it, and just kind of let me know how much you use and how much is remaining. That way, I can keep a tally of it as well. That way, if wizards kind of begin to finish things, they can kind of I can kind of let you know what they've created, and we can keep the amount consistent. Good roll on a d4, by the way. It was
very lucky.
Yeah, no, it was literally going to be whatever you rolled plus 1,000. So
shouldn't that be 5,000?
Well, no, it's whatever you roll, add 3 zeros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of said that wrong, but that's basically what I did. So.
All right, so over the time, I also leave that Animate Dead scroll.
Okay, so you add that to the library, and we'll take that off, and we'll work it out. Numbers and stuff later. Okay, Arden's not here to really tell me what he wants to do. I know what he wants to do, but yeah. John, is there anything you would like to do over the time? Well, yeah, Cardin wants to go to the library. John?
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to do over the course of a month?
Yes. So, after learning that the rogue family is after Katya and I, and after we all got attacked, I'm gonna spend a lot of my free time training. So I'm gonna practice my endurance, running, dashing. I'm gonna practice swinging my sword against dummies. practice my punching, and I'm gonna practice my magic.
Okay.
Especially,
I'm also gonna
sorry.
say you practice like basically one manning a trebuchet on the roof in order to like wing the thing around, working on
What?
a trebuchet. It's a giant 5-man operated machinery thing that is a siege weapon. I just imagine that you're gonna try and whip it around by yourself for a couple of hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And like one of the things that like one of the spells I'm trying out is the summoning a steed that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
Like
just
to
for my
make
own
sure I like.
reference.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You go ahead and finish what you were
Oh,
saying.
sorry. Just that I feel like it took me a while to get it right. Like I had to keep trying and trying to get it to manifest completely.
Okay.
Um,
Fair enough. And then what I was going to say was just for my own reference, what were the 2 cantrips you picked up?
oh yes, give me a sec. Let me look at my thing because I don't remember off the top of
You're
my
good.
head.
You're good.
So the first one is Ray of Frost.
Okay.
Um, and then the second one's Chilled Touch.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And just because I'm pretty sure those are wizard spells. Um,
No, it's sorcerer.
sorcerer? Okay, cool.
Yes.
What was the first level spell you picked up then?
Give me a sec.
Because
Thunderwave.
Thunderwave. Okay, I thought you were going a different route, so
Oh.
don't. That's why I was just curious. That way, I had everything in my head for what I would need. Good selection of stuff, though. I like that.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
I like the chill touch for the necromancy. Because John.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. All right.
And then I also kind of want him
You digging into
like
my shtick there?
just a wee bit.
And mine.
Just a wee bit. I'm. What can I say after everything we went through? I'm taking after you guys. And then also after visiting my family and stuff, I want to like have him kind of try and reflect on his goddess and see if he still feels angry towards her or not. I feel like he's still kind of angry, like because like going home and having the feast and stuff, he felt like he should have gone home and his future wife should have been there and she wasn't.
Understandable.
Yeah. Also, slightly why he keeps getting mad at Katya. Just throwing that out there. I did think about it. Like, there was reasoning for it besides the poisoning.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, all of that's pretty much easy to do. The reflection is still something that you're going to be kind of privy to decide for yourself. I'm not going to tell you how you feel about your god or goddess at this point in time. And it's also possible, and I'm going to tell this to John if he so desires, it's also completely possible for him to attempt to, if he desires to have the backing of an entity again, to reach out to a different god. He doesn't have to reach out to the one that his family serves.
I mean, I will keep that in mind. That's a potential route. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to go yet with his, I guess, so-called rage.
I understand.
Like, if he's just going the straight up challenge the gods similar to Dinok, or if he will turn to another god or goddess, I'm not sure yet.
I understand completely. Alrighty. Then we will circle back around to Katya. But first, I'm gonna say we take a break because it is 10:30.
Good idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a real quick break here, guys, and we'll be back in a few minutes. So bear with us through the
After
break.
these messages, we'll be right back.
See you shortly.
Pray to whoever will listen.
As we dive back into this, I'll tell you guys now. The other night, he fell asleep at God, I want to say it was probably 9:30, maybe a little earlier, and he slept until 8 o'clock the next morning.
All right. You got to that point. Good. Welcome to getting your sleep back.
Well, he's been sleeping through the night from midnight until 8 a.m. for probably close to 2 months now.
Oh, there you go. That's
we're
the
actually
best part of it.
We're actually just now about to hit the 4-month sleep regression, apparently. So we'll see how that goes.
Perfect. Now it's time to have another one so that you can stop sleeping again.
No. Anyway.
Or at least that's what happened with my 2 young ones. Jesus.
That just sounds like a mistake on your behalf. Don't be silly. Wrap
literally. I did. Good thing I'm married to her, though.
Anyway, we're gonna dive back in, and we're gonna finish doing about the 1 month or so recap of downtime, where we end with Katya.
Woohoo!
One night, as you're sleeping, Katya,
Mm-hmm.
you find yourself drifting through what appears to be the night sky.
Uh-oh.
And eventually, you drift to an area, and you see a man, humanoid, from what you can tell, or human from what you can tell, sorry, kind of floating in the sky before you, almost wearing almost like a really fancy, almost suit-like jacket, and clothing.
Anybody I recognize?
Make a history check, I guess.
His story. 23.
Nobody you know.
Oh,
but it was a good roll.
It was a really good roll.
And you
really good roll, but I don't know.
You feel absolutely confident you have never met this man before in your life.
Perfect. I've checked him against all history that I know. Don't know. Got it.
He stands there before you, kind of floating in the air, alongside, kind of in front of you, kind of arms kind of crossed. And he's got this warm smile on his face, and he just kind of goes, "Well, hello."
Hi. Tell me, who are you and why are you in my dream?
Who I am is not important, and why I'm in your dream, well, it's not necessarily your dream, but my dream, if you would. This is... I do believe this is the mindscape of one, Katya Swift?
I suppose so, but I thought you said
My
I was...
son sent me. He said that you wanted to talk.
Yes, your son... I don't
Would you
know
like some
if
tea?
he owns...
I'm famished. And he snaps his fingers, and there's tea, a tea cup and plate in front of you, and he has his own, and he takes it and begins.
Right, I'd love tea, thank you. And I will also drink. What does it taste like?
You drink it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's very pleasant. What's Katya's favorite type of tea?
Well, going on, reaching way back to when we were at Tullus, and we found the magic teapot,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the peppermint tea. We're gonna say I was thinking about peppermint tea, so that's what I got.
Okay.
That's
So
Katya's favorite, peppermint tea.
It is probably the best
Which is
peppermint tea you've ever
but
had.
still.
Well, Katya may like it.
I
Rhoda
don't,
may
but
not.
yep.
It is probably the best peppermint tea Katya has ever had.
Ooh, this is delightful. Did you make it to yourself?
In a sense, yes. In this place, most things can very easily become a reality. One just has to will it.
Oh. Well, in that case...
Go ahead.
In that case, Katya is going to try and will that he can cast magic without backlash, and he's going to shoot a chromatic orb off into the void.
Give me 1 second here.
Of course, my luck in real life, you hear boom as it collides with the wall.
Okay. You cast Chromatic Orb and the spell casts. Doesn't seem to be any effect thereafter.
Oh. You're right. Anything is possible in a dream. Now, if I could just take that example and apply it to reality, that would be fantastic. I don't know how many times I've accidentally blown myself up, or my allies, or sometimes just random people, because I cast magic and just poof, it backfires. It's extremely frustrating.
That would be a problem. Now, what if I told you I could solve that for you? Or at the very least, help.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. But the only way that I have found to do that would be to draw from somebody else's well of power. And that is why I am here.
Well, of course, it's very hard for people as young as you to have such a effect. You could very easily lose yourself, even within yourself, if you were not wise and careful enough. But we have ways of ensuring that you don't boom. I'm sure my son told you that in order for a deal like this to be made, that you have to be willing to channel our power, my power, through you. And sometimes this requires to do things that we ask without questioning it at times.
Yeah, such as what comes with a pact.
I see you have at least done some research.
Minor research, asking questions to people who do know more about it, and getting some rather uncomfortable feelings all the way. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but why is it that people who choose this path are always the creepiest individuals? Why do you have to be creepy to make a pact with someone? I don't understand. Or, is that a side effect of forming a pact?
It depends on who you make the pact with. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it's not.
I mean, you seem charming enough to me, so... Now, your son... I don't know if he owns I don't know if he owns, like, a really big dragon for a pet, or if there's something greatly disturbing about him, but... Wow.
Much like yourself. My son has the unfortunate circumstances of very rarely being able to control his magic. But as he is one of my children, his magic is unfathomable.
Oh.
Like a stutter.
I guess this is
apologize.
I guess this is a good question to ask then. Is your son the Red Scare, or are you?
My son. It was an unfortunate nickname given to him by the mortals of the realm after an incident of when he couldn't control his magic and ended up, much like yourself, hurting a lot of those around him.
Right. And it would seem my bloodline stems from, well, I guess now yours. As far as I know, my family history went all the way back to him, but I didn't know there was another predecessor.
There's always another. Very rarely is there ever one being that began with, unless you were talking about, until you get to the very, very beginning. And then that's when it began with one. But even that we're not 100% sure on, as nobody has seen... Shoot,
the before times, yes.
I forgot the name. Oopsie. Hold on,
History speculates a lot.
Mm-hmm.
History speculates a lot on the origins of our world and the origins of all manner of magic and, I guess, life paths.
As I was saying, he goes, unless you're talking about the very beginning, of course, but even that we don't know the true details on. After all, nobody has seen Martinez for several millennia.
What is a Martinez?
Martinez? Really? The humans have forgotten him already? I suppose you guys are such short-lived creatures that the name would escape you. Martinez is the name of the Creator. The God of gods. The Father of the gods.
Oh. The supreme being that reigns above all others.
Sure, if you desire to call him that. But again, nobody has seen him in several millennia. I'd be surprised if any of his children even believe he's still alive.
Considering I've never heard the name until now, yeah, questionable. But I guess technically we would all stem from him as the beginning, unless there's something else before him. But we will probably.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know that. This is what Martinez has told us. Those of us who would remember him. But that being said, are you interested in being able to control that power?
Am I interested? That's a silly question. I wouldn't have gotten to all this trouble if I wasn't interested. Okay, to put it simply, yes, I'm interested. I want to be able to control it.
He kind of
I don't want to hurt my
floats up.
allies anymore.
He floats up to you almost without doing hardly anything, and he kind of just looks at you. And then let it be done. And he kind of grabs the kind of like the bottom of your chin and the kind of like the back of your skull a little bit. Do you fight him?
Maybe slightly out of confusion as to why he's grabbing my face.
He kind of grabs, and as you kind of pull, he goes, and his arms don't budge. I'm not gonna make you roll. You're kind of weak. He's not. Sorry. And he goes, "Let it be done." And he kisses you.
Oh.
And as that happens,
But that's gay.
Is it? Is it, Catherine?
Well.
Anyway,
well,
remember
okay,
that.
Fair enough.
As that happens and it catches you off guard, you feel this almost surge of power kind of flow through your body.
Ooh.
And you wake up in a heap, kind of gasping.
Mm-hmm.
You are unsure of what has transpired.
Do I feel different other than the fact that I just woke up from the most exhilarating dream I believe I've ever had?
Make an insight check on yourself. Let's go with that. Insight.
Sure, I'm inciting myself. 14.
14. Strangely enough, no, you don't really feel that different.
Could I cast Detect Magic just to... Not exactly to detect magic, but to see if there's any side effect?
Sure.
All right. So I cast it. Oop.
Okay. So, what plays into this effect with this level, you still have to roll. However, now you have advantage on the check.
Oh, okay. So charisma check with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. 19.
So 19 would be successful.
Oh, cool.
I would assume you just wanted to muffle it. I'm not going to have you roll on the table.
Yeah.
So you just kind of stop it, and you're just like you felt the beginning to rise up, but you were able to essentially bottle it and contain it much easier than you ever have in the past.
Ah, okay. Well, now that I had the spell up, do I detect magic?
Nothing outside of your room.
Okay. I mean, why waste?
Because your room would be thicker than like a little bit of stone.
Yeah. Okay. But I do notice that it was easier to control.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Okay, I take that as a win. And I'm going to say that dream I just had, I made a pact with, I didn't even get his name, but I made a pact.
Yep, and we will talk, you and I will talk about
what path that would technically be?
Yeah, about what path that technically is.
Okay. Sounds good.
Never accept tea from
Never accept green tea.
It wasn't green, it was peppermint.
He said green.
Oh, dream tea. What?
Real tea's fine, just not in a dream.
But it's a dream. How could it hurt me? I don't ever wake up.
You wake up.
Well,
You're asking the person who doesn't dream.
Who's
That is
ironically had 2
true.
dreams now.
Hmm?
Who has ironically had basically 2 dreams now.
Yeah, this feels weird. Is this what it's like to have dreams, guys? Is it just another way to communicate with people?
Sort of.
Ironically, yes. So, with that, I do believe that concludes the downtime everybody would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Rip, I actually have one thing I thought of. I
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
do.
absolutely.
I just wanted to start learning how to use my disguise kit. Like get
Okay.
better at it.
Are you proficient with it?
No. That's why I want to try and get better with it. Better at it.
Fair enough. Let's see here. Let's see. How vague they always have this as. Okay. I mean, it will take you a bit of time to become proficient in this kind of a tool.
Right.
But you do begin practice using it.
Okay. Cool. I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty. Now, as you guys continue to fly, and as about a month has passed, you guys begin to wonder if food provisions are going to hold, if you guys will ever land. A message comes. An errand boy comes running it down to you guys as you guys are probably having lunch this day. And he arrives and he's like, "An island has been spotted. They want you on deck on the roof."
Wait. Is it floating or are we crashing?
The child looks at you and just goes, "I don't know."
Oh, well, that's comforting. Maybe we better get up top.
It doesn't feel like we're falling, so I'm assuming we're approaching a floating island.
Dianoc, which direction is north?
that way.
Okay.
Fun fact.
we are
It has.
He did.
Fun fact.
Did you
if
point
ask me to
up?
do Fun fact, no matter what altitude you are at, north never changes.
Good.
So, you guys head towards the roof. And I'm going to have, as you guys get there, I'm going to have everybody make a perception check. See
Okay.
what you can make.
I thought you were going to say roll for initiative.
Yeah. As a dragon
God.
comes and rah, everybody roll for initiative.
Damn it,
14.
I rolled a 9.
Wow, y'all.
Arden
Wow.
sees the world.
I mean, you needed a 10, guys.
What were y'all looking at?
Trying to fight that dragon.
Valinar and John are like coming up, weapons drawn, ready to fight a dragon. Everybody else is like, "What's wrong with you?" Everybody else, but John and Valinar, in the distance, you guys see this large floating island, this rock.
Solid ground!
Floating among the clouds. Is it though? Floating amongst the clouds.
So what we know is solid ground.
Yep. Cardin would have seen that shaped inside of the almost fog-like clouds. You can just ever so faintly make out what appears to be some form of a dome, which he would convey to the rest of you because he's not here to tell me he wouldn't.
Is that a dome?
Did you say dome?
Yeah, big dome.
Oh. I'm home.
We've arrived. Was this where we were trying to go to? I don't know. I feel like we just picked a direction.
I'm pretty sure we decided on Dina.
You guys basically were like, let's go to Dinok's home. And then everybody was like, which direction is that? And Dinok went, it's this way.
And here we are. Our perfect navigator.
Hey, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Hella.
Go ahead.
Guys, do you think they're gonna attack us on sight? We're kind of
hope not.
Giant floating fortress.
Do we have anything we can throw as hey, we're not here to hurt you sort of thing?
Do we have a big banner we can just throw out that just says we're friendly?
Yeah, exactly what I'm asking.
Cardin's like,
we've got a ballista.
Just chuck D-Knock down at the ground at him.
As funny as that is, I actually kind of like the idea, though I'm not going to be the one to throw him.
None of you have feather fall. It is a terrible idea.
I was thinking about using feather fall, and now I'm kicking myself for not picking it.
With all the falling that we do, I mean, with all the stuff we do up in the sky, you would think one of us would thought, featherfall might be a good idea.
The campaign pitch was you guys are on floating islands, thousands of feet in the air, and nobody took featherfall. The cleric gets a pass because he doesn't necessarily have access to that spell. The barbarian gets a pass because he's a barbarian. The paladin came in a little bit late. It made me laugh when I first read spells. So, D-Duck, judging from your location in the air, you gauge that you guys are pretty much coming in from the, this would be kind of the southwestern side of the island. I think I'd have to make my map again.
So this is where you are from.
Aha, I was right. Southeast. Okay, slightly off. Southeastern side. Of the continent. You do know that the only two areas of Hofkeen or New Hella that is not covered in a weather dome is the basically due north area and the due southern area. But you also know who rules those areas.
So how are we planning on landing this thing?
You also gather that you're probably about a day or so out. I caught myself, but I swear I almost said you can tell that you guys are almost a year out.
Damn, it must be floating away from us pretty fast.
I apologize. But yeah, that's what you're about a day out. You gather.
Okay. Should we practice attempting to land before we, hit the island?
On what?
I don't know. Don't we have like a manual on how to fly this thing?
No.
Exactly. We learn how to lift it off the ground, but how do we land it?
I'm going to assume we just reverse how we took off.
I sure hope that works. Or this is going to be one hell of a landing.
But it'll be one short landing.
I mean,
That's card.
it would just be a hop, skip, and a jump away from dry land, hopefully, wherever we land. But if we miss, we might take out one of Denox's, what did you call those things? The creatures that are really, really big?
Oh.
No. Yeah. We don't want to land on them.
You mean one of the Guardian Titans? You don't want to land on one of them? Why on earth
No.
not? So, Denox, you know that if you continue on your current path, that you would be trying to land on top of a weather dome.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Indeed.
Which direction did you say we're coming in from?
Kind of the southeast.
Oh shit.
Do you see the area the picture that I sent you? So kind of imagine right there, kind of near the Thunderfall Forest, what I have labeled there. Kind of in that area. So that's about where you
shit! Right next to the.
are.
Yeah, 100%. We'd land in the lake.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Right where the Leviathan is.
That definitely doesn't sound like a good idea.
There are
Perhaps
areas.
we should
There is probably enough area that you could probably land around the lake. I mean, the lake is massive, but there's also land around it as well.
Perhaps we should relay some information down to the, what do we call it? The engine room?
I was going to say battery room, but okay.
Battery?
Cough.
Oh, I see. The crystals. Yeah. I feel like you mentioned this before, what a battery is.
It's like you guys don't have modern technology.
No, not at all. We got a lot of steam-powered stuff.
Denox just kind of gives you this weird sideways glance. You sure you're not living in the Stone Age?
I'm pretty sure it's not the Stone Age. It's not stone. It's made out of wood and metal.
Bono raises his hand and goes, I'm completely lost.
Yeah, you guys have very limited technology, even in the steampunk kind of era there, Katya. Like, you guys might have tea kettles.
Well, we have to have tea kettles. I can't have peppermint tea without tea kettles.
Yes, you can. It's called boiling water and adding peppermint leaves.
Kind of hard to do when you're lacking water, huh? Which isn't a problem for my family, but...
Anyway.
Any water's clean if you boil it long enough.
Sure. What are your guys' orders? What are your commands?
Well, Denox, with his magic compass of a brain, would be the best to relay which direction we need to be going.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know. I probably won't be able to use message from up here. It's too far down. Because I'd be
What's
like...
the range?
Yeah. What's the right? What is it like? Message. Oh, it's 120 feet, but still, this place is pretty big.
Yeah, it would be real freaking close. From the roof, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I could try to use message on him to communicate with Denock back and forth while he directs them, and I could say, yeah, well, it looks like we're going the right way.
Sure.
If only we had messaging crystals. Oh, well, we'll get some when we're home.
You know, I really wish some people knew, like, awesome spells like, sending. My father contacted me with sending once, and he's on a whole nother continent.
Only so many slots.
What was that, Valinor?
Nothing.
Well, when we get onto the island, we'll have a plentiful supply of communication technology.
Oh.
That doesn't rely on spell slots.
So what you're saying is, wait, does that mean that there's also other implements that we can use magic without side effects?
Yes, 100%.
I'm glad I saved some money. I feel like I'm gonna have a field day in whatever shops you've got.
On the bright side, though, Denock, if you were to land near the forest area, you would be very close to your your area. What do you think? Want to take out a few trees?
Well, considering the entire area of the Thunderfall Forest and the Jagged Woods and the lake is considered the Leviathan's territory. Let's try that. Let's hope one of the flying carriages will swing by and see what's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You also do know that you guys don't technically have any
anti-air, right?
Yeah, any anti-air, stuff. You guys do have some flying forces, but you also know that if you're able to stay in the air for more than like a couple of hours, you could probably outrun them. So, okay. So you guys you're gonna kind of aim for the southern part of the Thunder Falls there.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I want you to give me we're gonna call this a vehicle check, which is a wisdom check for me. So just a regular wisdom check, because I know you're not proficient in vehicles. And you're definitely not proficient in this kind of a vehicle. So go ahead and give me a wisdom check. I'll say with advantage due to the amount of help that you're getting. Between people helping you kind of navigate and people down below who's casting spells.
I'm not looking. What is it?
A nat 20.
Yeah.
Not that you needed it.
I know everything about this ship and its inner workings.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I will say with that check, with a natural 20, even though it's a total of 21, you guys begin to coast into the area that you are trying to land in. And eventually there does come an individual kind of a flying does approach. This individual is flying on like a large carpet, and he kind of approaches
hell?
on the roof. Who is still on the roof?
I was on the roof.
Okay. So you stay up there during the entire process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I assume you also.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. You guys, and I'll say Denoch, you can be up there as well, just because it's a matter of
I've set
saying,
things into motion, and now it's just
it's a lot of like you got to bank a little bit to the left, but then you got to give it a little bit of time so that it banks to the left, because it's not like driving a car where you can turn the wheel and you're turning. It's like you gotta you gotta like depower a crystal, or wait for a crystal to run out of a little bit of juice, and then power up one side of the fort to get it to coast in that direction.
It's like piloting an aircraft carrier on the ocean.
Sure. I've never done that, so sure.
I learned a few things about that. So, yes.
Oh, that's right. You were a seaman, weren't you?
No. Technically, I was a machinist mate. But...
Were you
were a man on the sea.
I was never actually aboard ship. Everything I know is theoretical, but I know when you got a massive craft like that, it's going to take some time between when you turn it and balance out the power below deck and when it actually follows through.
Yeah.
I've also played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, okay.
It checks out.
The closest thing I can think of for anybody who is non-military, boat, anything like that oriented, would be like a semi-truck. It has to make a really wide turn in order to turn. It's about the closest thing I can think of for all of ye land-based fellers. So, we lost someone.
Who did we lose?
Oh, go figure.
Still got power?
Discord.
Do you still have power?
Oh, yeah, I have power.
Well, hey, one time in 2.5 hours?
I know!
Better than last week.
It refreshed for some reason.
So, he kind of approaches, kind of flying on this carpet, and you can see he's got some weapons on him, but nothing like extravagant. You gather he's probably a local guard, and he kind of flies up, and this is a human individual, and he kind of goes, "Hey, what's going on here?" And he kind of flies up and kind of hovers next to the fortress, probably within shouting distance of you guys.
Does he look familiar?
To you, no. He appears to be probably a little bit of a newer individual here, or at least maybe in an area that you're not familiar with.
Yeah, that's a small thing. I am Denoch Alok V. Returning home from a magical mishap.
Tell me
Sir,
about it.
I never expected you to return and looked at the fortress in such a manner. Do tell, where do you plan on landing?
We were hoping somewhere near the forest, if the Leviathan will allow it. If not, we can find a place in closer to Veek territory.
The Leviathan is currently slumbering. I don't think it'll be an issue. I will send word immediately and return with clearance. I just have to move back a little ways. We'll be right back, sir. And he almost nods in a very nervous kind of a way, and you watch as he kind of begins to flutter off basically on this carpet, kind of standing. You guys watch as he had this leather helmet of some kind, kind of like a thin cord sticking out of the one of the ears, and he kind of places his hand up to it, and he begins to kind of shout into it a little bit, but eventually he drifts out of distance where you guys would be able to hear him from. He still stays within eyesight, especially for Valinar and Cardin. Yeah, you guys are got the highest passive, or highest perception, I should say. So yeah, you guys could definitely still see him. Everybody else can just faintly see him, but eventually he comes back, probably after about a half hour to an hour, and he comes up and he goes, Zarvik, your family has been notified. They are anticipating your arrival within the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on situations here, of course. And we have gotten clearance from the. Let's see, what's the word I'm looking for?
Embassy.
I guess that would be the closest thing to it. The embassy for the Leviathan for you to land, as long as the lake itself is not disturbed.
Of course.
Is there any assistance that you guys require?
Katya's gonna look at Dinok. You must be a pretty big deal here.
The family is. Yes. Every single technological advancement this island has had, pretty much all of it comes from the Veek family.
Oh, so you're kind of like the most valuable person on your island as I am on mine.
No. No, nowhere near.
Okay, your name is well recognized, just like the Swift name is back on my home.
That would be, yes.
Okay.
In response to your question, good sir, mayhaps some provisions. We've been wondering if we're running a little low. And I think some local cuisine would be most appreciated.
I can see what we can procure. Is there a number of individuals that I should know for preparing such a meal for?
A few thousand.
A few thousand.
What, did you think we flew this whole thing by ourselves, just a few of us?
I don't have any idea how it operates. I am standing on a flying carpet and operating it by myself, you see.
DM,
I don't know how that works.
So, the number of people on ship, oh god, you're actually going to make me count.
You didn't think I would do this!
Why do you think I estimated about a few thousand?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9:30. 1 second. I need to grab my calculator.
30 times 1,000 is 30,000.
As a side note, Valnar looks over Dinok and just kind of goes, "Why a carpet? Wouldn't that just like get blown over in a strong wind?"
Well, for the wind thing, there are certain fail-safes to keep that from happening, but also the one who made that invention was whimsical.
Oh,
I think of things of fancy.
So it's not a flying carpet, it's a flying weighted throw.
I see why you call it a flying carpet. It sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
So, in terms of math, you're looking at about 1,100 people, not including yourselves.
Yeah, close enough.
The total number is slightly over 1,100.
I will.
He has a small carpet.
Not that we need it delivered across the skies, but if it can be procured near the landing site would be best.
I will see if I can arrange such a banquet for everyone.
You might actually need a second banquet. Cardin over here can eat quite a lot.
We have solutions for individuals like him. We hopefully the meal will be prepared for you upon arrival. We will keep track of your trajectory and have it ready, hopefully, by the time you land. And he kind of like gives like this awkward kind of bow, and begins to rock it off on his carpet.
Didn't think they installed that speed upgrade since I was... Oh well, must be a new one.
Sure. How did he contact people from the air?
You saw his helmet, right?
Yeah.
Special Magitech item. Allows one to communicate long distances with just their voice. It's basically like message sending, something like that, without the spell.
That sounds awesome. And I feel like if there's anybody that would benefit the most from what your land can offer, it would be my people, because we're probably the closest in technology. But even then, it's still, what, centuries apart as far as technology goes?
Arden speaks up and goes, "Well, how do you know? You've never been to the surface."
Yeah, I've heard about your technology. You walk around in a migratory pattern because the weather changes.
And
And you hunt things.
anyway, I'm gonna let that natural 20 carry over for your landing as well, just because you rolled a natural 20. So as evening breaks and as you guys come to the very edge of the kind of floating island itself, and you guys clipping by the tree line, you guys eventually come to rest rather gently. There is a bit of a jolt, kind of like when a roller coaster comes to a complete stop, like right away. It's very like jolting, but nothing damaging or anything like that. A few people, some children, fall on their butts, but that's about it. And as you guys lead the charge, kind of out of the flying, this flying fortress, there are practically a sea of people waiting for you guys. And at the very front, you guys actually see these two individuals. And as they look up and they see you, Denock, you watch as they begin to cast a spell. And from the ground underneath, kind of right in front of them, the ground kind of and form earthen stairs leading up to the lip of the landing that you are currently standing on. And these stone earth stairs lead all the way down to the ground, standing before you. And they kind of step off to either side of the staircase. And as you guys turn and look, you guys can see several tables just set up with steaming hot food. The tables piping with just a ton of different food, everything looking absolutely delicious.
Is there any food that I recognize?
Probably. There is a very large assortment of food here.
Cool. I'm probably going to stick to the things that I'm most familiar with.
Yeah. And as this kind of happens, the individual who was current on the carpet before you, and he kind of approaches, this time on foot, and goes, "Sir, the food has been prepared as best as it could be. You guys will want to go to the first table over here, the closer one." And he indicates to one very nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of says, "This one has been prepared, especially for you. Your parents are awaiting your arrival. They decide, since they had as the evening is drawing quite late, and you would know that for your parents, it's getting kind of late. They're a little older. They're starting to feel the tiredness in their bones. They will see you in the morning. But they have asked for your guys' meal to be prepared. There's plenty of food and drink, and there are caravans nearby to replenish those who require it."
I do have to ask a question of the DM.
Mhm.
Is Boblin there?
It's a great question. Go ahead and make a perception check.
How about Zalpip?
Zalpip is the
That one. Ooh.
Well, that makes up for my net 20 earlier. Okay.
right. Remind me, Zalpip is the caretaker,
My mentor.
right? Gotcha. Yeah, no, you don't see him.
Well, considering one's a golem and one is a goblin and the other is a gnome, not surprising.
You're like looking around and like you don't see him, and then all of a sudden you can feel your stomach gurgle, 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 and you kind of lock eyes with the table, and you're just like, food. And you begin to kind of walk towards it. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh, nice.
Thank God it wasn't the 2.
16.
Was that enough?
I mean, I'm trying to think, because it wouldn't be... Yeah, that would be just enough, because he's not, like, trained in any way, shape, or form. But as you go to, like, move forward, you, like, stumble and almost fall flat on your face. As you look down, and there is this small bundle of a goblin just hanging from your leg.
But Boblin?
Danak!
Boblin! And I scoop him up in a hug.
Is that a goblin?
Cardin like raises his sword, his axe.
Hey! No, good goblin. He's a good goblin.
Not like the
Slowly
undead
puts it
zombie
down.
ones from way back before?
Very much unlike that. Very much unlike that. He's my brother.
He's your brother?
Adopted, but yes.
Okay, because I was slightly concerned. I'm like, if you're a dragon and he's a goblin, what were your parents like?
Ironically enough, human. No.
Very
Honestly,
ballsy bards.
You guys begin to head over towards the table and enjoy a finely cooked food and drink. And oddly enough, the more you eat, or as much as you guys could consume, as you guys eat and drink and eat some more. And oddly enough, the food on the table never depletes. Even Cardin reaches his satisfaction of being stuffed to the gills.
Oh shit.
To the point where he may not be able to move.
Where does all this food come from?
Oof. special grow houses.
And for the next 24 hours, you guys are benefiting from the effects of a hero's feast. Because your parents can afford to do shit like that. That was the
Comes
wrong
from
guy.
1,500 years of technological innovations.
Holy shit.
What?
So I rolled for it. Because with Heroes Feast, you guys. So I'm gonna rant off a list of things that you guys have for the next 24 hours. And I will say for somebody to document this. Somebody responsible, please.
Okay.
Not you. You guys are cured of all diseases and poisons, not affecting any of you guys at the moment, so cool. You become immune to poison and the frightened condition.
Immune to poison and frighten.
All wisdom saving throws are made at advantage.
Always saves our advantage.
Mm-hmm. And your maximum hit points for the duration for 24 hours is increased by 2d10, which I rolled for, and I rolled 19. So you guys get 19 additional hit points. So what I would recommend doing is putting those in your temporary hit points, because those are hit points that are not... after 24 hours, your maximum will go back down to whatever it was. But these are hit points that can be healed up to. So if you guys find yourselves in combat or anything like that, you guys can heal that damage back. So I rolled a 19. That's what the holy shit was for earlier.
Near max.
Yeah. Literally 1 point away from max. That's insane.
On one hand, too bad we're not just before a boss battle. On the other hand, the boss battle is here. Oh fuck, we're gonna die TPK.
So don't do it.
Yeah, because Leviathan and Taras.
Well, D-Knock, as you are enjoying the company of everybody around you, people come up and talk to you for a little bit, as people who know of you would come and say hi, at least those who are nearby, and you enjoy catching up with Boblin in the meantime. While all of this is happening, roll me an insight check.
Insight. Oh boy.
Wow.
Soft 20.
Perfect.
My luck is good tonight. Except for that perception.
You're not sure why you have this uneasy feeling in your gut. Something feels off. Something about the people, the air itself. Something's not right, but you're not sure what it is.
Sorry, this food's making me a little gassy.
Well, I mean, that's why you shouldn't eat escargot.
Is that what this is?
I was wondering why you were going for that if you're so... Katya.
It looked delicious. I didn't know what it was.
Also, that right there is, that's... Yeah, that's, pork... That's, pufferfish sushi. You may not want to go for that one.
Well, I'll take some of that.
Katya's like about to put it in his mouth. And he's like, "Why not?"
Pufferfish is, if not prepared correctly, can be poisonous.
But
Then why
yeah,
the hell would you
poison.
serve it here?
It's the skill of the chef. It's a thing of their skill, their prestige.
You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Why chance it? I'm just gonna put that back.
You're not. If you don't need it, I will.
I mean, at least thank you for the warning instead of just letting me die. Potentially.
So, as the evening begins to come to a close and you guys make your way, I'm assuming staying in the fortress one more night, and then going off in the morning as it is beginning to get quite late. You guys have
And I invite
evening's
Boblin
rest.
if he wants.
Okay, yeah, he'll stay with you. You guys stay up kind of late, probably a little later than you should have, just talking about what has transpired since you've been gone.
It's been a little bit, yeah.
There are some answers that he gives that are a little funny, which is kind of towards his nature at times, but there are others that just like, that doesn't quite add up. But you've been gone for a while as well, and so maybe things have changed a little bit. You would know because of your BS of a mind. You've been gone for roughly just over 2 months.
Really?
So, yeah, you guys had. You
Feels
guys
like it's
did.
been longer.
You guys have done. It took you guys the better part of a month to visit all of the cities and participate in all the events and get to the summit. And then about a week or so has transpired from that. So we're at about a month there. And then you guys had some more time, probably about another week or so. And I guess it'd be closer to about 3 months now, actually, thinking about it.
That feels more like it, yeah.
Yeah, we've
Thinking
had
about it
several
more,
decent
so.
breaks.
Because I know we've had a couple.
Usually they've only been like a day or like a couple days to a week. This last one has been the longest one you guys have done, but there wasn't a whole lot for you guys to do in that downtime.
I think we had a week or two of downtime prepping before after the demon invasion, getting everything caught up and doing some additional things. And then we had a couple weeks while we were preparing for the, getting people for the flying fortress.
There was a week on that one, yeah. But anyway, you've been gone for about 3 months or so, and things may have changed a bit. You're unsure, but that uneasy feeling in your gut still remains. And as you guys kind of drift off to sleep, you guys get a long rest and maintain the benefits of the Hero's Feast until the next evening, later evening. It'd be quite closer to night. But with that is where we're going to go ahead and end the session tonight. It's a couple minutes early, but it's a good ending point.
I missed it. Where did we go after the feast?
Bed.
Okay. Like at an inn or something? Tavern?
No, the fortress.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Not paying attention, huh?
Yeah, I was flipping through my notes. Happens.
Okay. But that is where we're going to go ahead and end the session tonight. Thanks everyone for sticking around. I had a lot of fun. Some reveals, some things to kind of think about, and yeah. So stay safe out there, guys, and everyone, and we'll see you guys all next week. Good night.
Yep.
Bye.